Okay, welcome to my hypersomnia video diary day 7. Um, Life is crazy. I just, I was excited because it was like 11:40, and I collected all like my thoughts and notes, and was like getting ready to do the video. I was like, great, I'll have it recorded, exactly, so it's totally true to like each day, and there's probably a lesson learned not to procrastinate. But um, I got it finished and everything, and was gonna upload it just before midnight, but my audio didn't record again, so I just tested it 3 times. I'd be so pissed if this one doesn't work. But um, it's interesting because now I was gonna suggest another topic and go this whole roundabout explanation of how my suggested topic I wasn't gonna do linked into the topic that I said I was originally gonna do, which is just a day in the life and what it feels like to be medicated and to have hypersomnia, and what all the daily routines, how that feels mentally and cognitively. But then I had read an interesting comment on one of the videos that discussed possibly being a different type of chemical, like a protein or something maybe, and so I did a bunch of research on that and found some really cool stuff, which I'm going to share next time. I'm going to be patient and formulate it a little bit better, and possibly hopefully have some screenshots of some cool stuff up. Just the steps that are taken when they're trying to diagnose this, the test that you have to take, which is the multiple sleep latency test. And what that is you spend the night in a lab and you literally have, I don't know, 100 electrodes all over your head, just suction cupped to it. And then they put a bunch more, throughout your body, and you have to carry around this big nest of wires. And then they put you in a nice cozy room that's really quiet, and they say go to sleep. But I'm gonna go through next time how they're testing you and what they're measuring and looking for, and I'll tie that into some of the research that I found tonight. But to go through a day in the life of having hypersomnia and being medicated. Last night, while I put my daughter to bed at around 10:30, and I was like, great, she's out for the night. Watch my movies, drink a beer or something, chill. Well, she woke back up again at 2 a.m. She's only 5 right now, and trying really hard to get her to sleep by herself, and it's a challenge. But I've got support, so. So she woke up at 2 a.m., so I have to go back in and get her back to bed. That process is anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, sometimes up to 45 minutes if it's a bad night. And I thought the 2 a.m. one, I'm like, I'm good, okay. And she was back up again at like 4:30, and same thing at 5:30, and same thing at almost 6. And at that point, we just had to basically get up and start our days. Because she needs to go to school, and I I found if one of the worst things that I can do, even while medicated, is to try to take a nap for something less than an hour. Something that's like 50 minutes, I usually always overshoot it and sleep over it. But so we started our days, and what's important about that, although it sounds boring and maybe something most people have had to do thousands of times in their lives, even if had I not been already taking my medication, for one, it would have been really hard. She would have to like come in and physically, probably shake me to get up or scream in my face. I wouldn't have really heard her screaming from like across the hallway, or calling out for me, and I wouldn't have been able to like wake up and consciously try to get her back to bed each of those successive times. each while, well, not each, but the last one too, having like a full conversation about her sleeping on her own and stuff like that. Those things would have been completely impossible had I not been medicated. To put on top of the fact that we just had to get up, start our day, and I had to get her to school. So and that's sounds like a one-off instance or something, but or even you may think like, oh, like, so what, you have to do that sometimes, it's just part of being a parent or whatever. But the thing is like, if you didn't have a left leg and I said, oh, kick it with your left leg, what like, it's kind of, it probably seems like an awkward analogy, but that's really what it's like. There's something not there and missing. So like, how do you ask someone without eyes to explain color to you or something? And that's a drastic representation, but still, nonetheless. I carried on throughout my day from there. I think stopped at the grocery store, made some food after getting my daughter later in the afternoon. Had a great day with my family at the pool, playing, running around, just having like a really good time. And then also throughout the day, like, since I mentioned my daughter's 5, I'm teaching her things in the pool, and like trying to give her instructions on how to jump off the side the best way. It's so simple, but like, those are things that unless you're joking around, you say, oh, just jump off. But when you're trying to explain to someone how to safely jump off the side of a pool, you're really trying to focus and give good instructions and clear instructions. You may have to explain yourself 20 different ways before they get it. Those things, I just wouldn't even have the mental capacity to get there. Like, I'd sputter on the first 2 or 3. And what I find interesting as a symptom of the narcolepsy with cataplexy, because there's two types: narcolepsy with cataplexy and narcolepsy without. Cataplexy is when you have that uncontrollable pass out or you fall down and you're laughing, or someone scares you and you literally fall asleep for a second. That's cataplexy. It's a similar thing, I think, when I am tired and not medicated. Stressful things, like, it's I don't want to sound weak and saying that I can't handle them or whatever, but when I'm having to do like like a lot of different calculations, or to say, oh my god, what do we need to do to fix this situation? I don't know, I can't come up with a good thing, but like, those abilities don't really, like, you can't get out of first gear, like, yeah, you can see the road and everyone's in your car and they're all buckled up and stuff, but you burn first gear out so much, like you're taking up to 30-40 miles an hour and the engine's overheating, but you're like, I'm gonna get there because I'm not an idiot and I know the way there, but this is like, I feel like I'm running in slow motion or something in a sense. And when I am on my medicine, I just feel like what I consider to be a normal person. You have the same problem-solving types of skills. You look at an issue and know how to react to it, like, relatively quickly, or things don't feel so overwhelming. They just feel like, a challenge or something sometimes. Especially like being sleep drunk on hypersomnia, when it's really bad, when you've woken up, or it's just a day where you're so extremely tired all day that you feel like a zombie. You can only do, at least in my opinion, what are like conditioned based and repetition based tasks. Again, so I feel like I just had a normal day, and that's what's so probably boring, but hopefully interesting about this little topic about my day, and how Adderall works for me throughout the day. In terms of dosage, I took my time release in the morning. I always try to do that one as early as possible because it is a time release. Although I'm probably generally taking it between, I want to say 7 to 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Sorry, 7 to 9 a.m. And then I took 15 milligrams with that, and then throughout the day there was 3 more 15 milligrams. So I want to estimate. I didn't keep exact track because it's a lot of times, at least the way that I feel, is there's a more of a feeling rather than a time clock to signify when you're becoming less aware, or you're getting less focused or whatever. So they're like timed intervals or something. So every 3 to 4 hours or so. It's after midnight now, and I will probably cozy up after this video and get to bed, and then I'll be up again at 7 to get my daughter to school. And I feel like that's what, if you looked up a typical American or most typical people in this world, I want to guess, but we'll keep it within America, they probably go to bed 8 to 10 at night, get up sometime between 4 to 6 or 7, so everyone's getting their somewhere, on average 4 to 8 to, I guess the high would be 10 hours of sleep, but everyone's within that normal 4 to 8 hour window, and that's just what I'm going to do is probably get around 6 hours of sleep tonight. Might take a little nap tomorrow afternoon, see how I feel, but yeah, I'm gonna end the video right there. Sorry for the delay, and again, always feel free to post questions and comments, and I appreciate that very much, because it just makes me get inspired to see the condition or the disease or what have you in a new light. So it's really cool. But yeah, have a great night. See you tomorrow.